Take 2. Wait, hold on. Take 3. There we go. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor. There's some Twitter problem. Sorry for the delay. I had to get all my tabs. Isn't that the worst when you close your window and you lose all your tabs? Well, I got them all back, and we got some big news today to break with all you guys. Lots of news. I guess I'm going to have to eat some crow. Dog the Bounty Hunter was right. Guys, it's looking that way. We have lots of stuff to go through today, as well as a press conference from Gabby's parents at 1 o'clock. So in about 40 minutes or so, we will break and go over there live as we hear that press conference and react. We also have a special guest joining us. This was planned last night. Depending on how the news goes, if we need to, based on that press conference or anywhere else, pivot, we may. But this press conference sort of does relate to family. There's a YouTuber out there who is... I've called out before, but we actually got some new evidence that really was damning for me that I wanted to expose to you guys, that this guy is aware of what he's doing and he's potentially making things up for clicks. And it doesn't sit right with me. I want you guys to be aware. We are going to cover that as well. So we have a packed show for you today for the next few hours. So I'm glad to have you guys with me as we break all this down. And yes, I see all the comments. Steph is here. Steph has already roasted me. If you saw our stream yesterday, I did admit, well, Dog is a bounty hunter. Even before this broke, I did say, well, look, if he could do some good, great. I even remember when we saw this news, guys, before yesterday's stream, just to reiterate, the Laundrie family was terrified. Oh, sorry, here it is. The Laundrie family was terrified of Dog. That they called 911 when he approached the house. So, look, I can admit when I'm wrong. Let me go to my close-up. I will always admit when I'm wrong. I am human. I make mistakes. Dog the Bounty Hunter, I apologize. Look, if Dog the Bounty Hunter is going to solve this, it also just reiterates how stupid and bad the police had been, that Dog had to get up and do his job. There's so much to unpack about this new information, this press conference that Dog held. We're going to break it all down for you. But Steph, you must be very excited that your man, Dog the Bounty Hunter, is now looking like he knew what he was doing.
Dog the Bounty Hunter for the win. Yes. And I tell you something, I hope, because the authorities over there are a little bit like a Benny Hill act. I don't know if you get that reference or not.
Yeah. We all know the theme, Steph.
Yeah. That's the one, right? They've been chasing their tails, right? On the say-so of the parents saying, oh, well, the last time we spoke to him, he said he was heading towards the Carlton Reserve. Oh, yeah, misdirection. Has anyone ever heard of that concept before? Because it's there right now. And Dog the Bounty Hunter is proving all those mofos wrong. Yes, absolutely. I'm so rooting for Dog.
Matt Bond already sent a super chat. Thank you. Matt's like, Steph made him eat that crow. Steph, you know, when I'm wrong, I will admit it. I can be a grump sometimes. I have an opinion. Sometimes it's not the accurate one, but it takes a man to admit when they're wrong. And I guess I was wrong about Dog the Bounty Hunter. He's stepping up. Now let's go to this information. I don't want to get too lost in the weeds. You guys, thank you, Matt. That's how it works. In fact, I don't think I have. I need to put the link. If someone could put the Stream Elements link and the link tree together, just like I usually do. If Mod or Steph, if you can, that would help me as I go through this. Just so people know, the pinned comment is where we Stream Elements is the best way to interrupt a show and get your comments in. I always go through all your questions because you are my bosses, and I'm really grateful for the support that you guys have been giving us on all of our coverage. But let's get to this breaking news first because we have a lot to cover today, Steph, but this is the main event. I think I've gotten a lot of people who are not Dog the Bounty Hunter fans writing me and saying, like, is this serious? Like, really? Dog the Bounty Hunter is about to crack the case, and it looks like it's a possibility, guys. This is not the clickbait. I'm not trying to trick you. Now, again, this is still a tip. There's still, who knows? This may amount to nothing, but there are a lot of helicopters circling this area right now. I live right by there. I was actually going to try and go there live this morning to break it down to you, but I realized there was too much here I needed to do in studio. But I do, if this gets crazier, it's literally like 45 minutes from me. I can drive down there. In fact, I've been there, so I can offer some commentary on what this is like. But yes, he's a tipster sent Dog a tip that there was a Florida campground 75 miles from family home. Here's Dog's words, and then we'll break down what this actually means.
So we had a very good lead come up today that he was down here in this park, not very far away. We checked our lead out. It is confirmed. The parents were down here 2 times. It was September 1st through the 3rd and September 6th through the 8th. They registered to stay at this park. They were registered, went through the gate. They're on camera. They were here. And they did enter. They did come here. Allegedly, what we're hearing is 2 people left on the 8th. 3 people came in on the 6th, and 2 people left on the 8th. I think he's been here for sure. So there's a lot of little islands around the area where we're at that he could get to on a canoe. We talked to the caretakers today of the islands. They said he could be out here, that he was here for sure, not over in the swamp. So we had a very good.
Okay, that's tip. So this is legit. So and I've looked around. We've had a lot of people verify it. In fact, I want to just show you more. Actually, let's go to Brian Eaton first. Brian Eaton spoke to him and got more further details. There's one little bit I've heard that I want to confirm with you guys, but let's hear all the clips and then we'll talk. So here's Brian Eaton talking to Doug.
Luis. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. So I'm just going to record this. So what did you guys discover? What's the deal with the campground?
So we discovered that on the early September, the mother and father had registered to stay at a campground, and you got the name from the 1st to the 3rd. And they stayed in campground number 1. Then on the 6th through the 8th of September, they registered again to stay at the campground, and this time they stayed in space 15. When they came in, at least on the 6th, there were three people in the vehicle, which was the truck, at the dad's house. And you have to fill out a piece of paper, and whoever filled it out said Brian, his mom, and his dad, right? So when they saw the truck leave on the 8th, there was only 2 people in it, not 3. This place is, how many acres, honey, is it? Hundreds of acre place that has got small islands all the way around it. So in a canoe or a, what's it called that he could have stolen?
Any kind of little boat.
What is it called? The little boat?
The canoe.
No, something else. This is for the ocean.
You think he could be out on
What boat was he referring to? Speedboat? Guys with boats, help me out. I was trying to figure it out too. What boat? It's not a canoe. It's not a speed. But here's Brian interrupts anyway.
one of those islands?
Yes.
And do you have surveillance video? Have you seen
Good
video
question.
of him going into the campground?
No, but I've got information that they got it. This is for sure. I wouldn't bust this loose without it being for sure.
And did you tell the FBI?
Well, who do I call? They're off.
Call the authorities.
The FBI's off at 5. They don't work on weekends. Who do I call?
So you called the authorities, though. You called police.
Yes, I called some of my friends, that
Okay.
we met by the dad. But yes, this is for sure good. Absolutely positive. They checked in there. They left, and he didn't leave with them. There's a huge possibility that yes, he could be there. And there's also a possibility that he was there and left. But for one thing, for absolutely sure, he was there in September. For positive.
Okay, so there's something there he says about the dad. I want to play that again, because I'm trying to figure out who he's like. I believe. Look, I believe Dog wouldn't put this out there. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, right, Steph? I don't think he would put all this out there if he didn't have a significant lead. And to confirm it, I've been told there's a lot of choppers over there circling sort of this area to sort of do it, and infrared choppers, et cetera, because they can fly overhead with infrared and sort of figure out. Wildlife can make it a little bit more complicated because we have some pretty big wildlife here. But still, you can sort of get a good gauge of, is there an area worth exploring, right, Steph? But we're going to go through that. We have maps. I've been there, so bear with me. We're going to go and go through this area that he's talking about. But did he tell the authorities, or did he say, I got it from the dad? Because what I'm really curious is did the dad activate Dog? Did you catch that? Hold on.
What's it called that he could have stolen?
You think he could be out on one of those islands?
Yes.
And do you have surveillance video? Have you seen video of him going into the campground?
I mean, that's kind of, it's a bummer we don't have proof of the evidence of that he came in and came out, because let's be clear, Steph, he could have been hiding in the camper. There could have been and I heard another interview. I couldn't find it yet, but Dog did confirm, yes, I guess that's possible that Brian may have been sleeping in the camper or something. We just didn't see him as he came out. So that's not confirmed, but it's a fair theory that Dog's making, that, you know, clearly they saw the parents come out without Brian. So that's telling. Then they went there earlier. They did 2 visits, guys. They went there around the 1st, and then they went back around the 8th. And when they came back around the 8th, apparently, according to Dog and the sources here, Brian wasn't in the car, implying that maybe they were sort of checking this area. Now, this is also an area we're going to go through on Instagram that Gabby, Brian, they've visited this area. This was a popular camping area for them. So this could have been an area that they just went to regularly, or a good excuse, right, Steph? Because they used to go there so much that they realized this would be a good place to go as we're trying to get away with this, because it would not be as suspicious that we went to the area that you guys had gone before. Do you know what I mean, Steph? There's a lot of, I think, motive behind the choice of this campground that does make this a very, you know, legit story and a leak that I think we all need to sort of spend some energy on. So, but I'm curious, the fact that there's no video is frustrating, but did the
FBI?
Well, who do I call?
I love this knock at the FBI too, Steph. They don't work on the weekends. Dog does, but the feds don't work on the weekends.
They're
Call
off.
the authorities.
The FBI's off at 5. They don't work on weekends. Who do I call?
So you called the authorities, though. You called police.
Yes, I called some of my friends. Yeah, that
Okay.
we met by the dad.
That we met by the dad. Did you catch that? I
Yeah.
called some friends that we met by the dad. I wanted to, because again, it's important we listen and go through this, because that's implying to me that the Petitos are now like, yo, Dog, all right, we're not getting the job done. Here's what we know. You know what I mean, Steph? Like, because look, no disrespect to Dog. I'm eating crow. Dog, I'm sorry. However, I'm not alone, right? There's a lot of people who are making fun of Dog right now. And so for the parents to take it seriously and be like, no, Dog, we aren't taking the FBI serious, we're taking you serious, says a lot. Do you agree?
Yeah, it does.
I mean,
It is what it is, really, at the end of the day. As I mentioned to you before, even before his reality star career, Dog's been doing this for decades. Dude has skills. Dude is not called Dog for nothing. Like, he's a sniffer dog. If he wants to find you, Dog's gonna find you. And if you're in his sights, don't even run. There's no point. He's gonna get you. Dog is with a bone now. He ain't gonna let it go. And Brian is screwed. It's just a matter of time. I really, really do hope that Dog gets him.
Yeah, I mean, and what's also interesting is Dog has his tip line. So the tip line is clearly working. He's getting a lot of stuff. He must have I know his kids and stuff work for him. He must be getting a lot of tips in there, and he got a good tip, right? So look, again, respect when it's due. It looks pretty clear that we owe this man some knowledge, some respect, acknowledgement, because he's there. Now, there's more to uncover on sort of where they came from, and I want to get your theories in, so you can send them over, let us know. We may take some calls as well. We got some time to fill before, again, the press conference is at 1. Steph, we'll get the link. We'll try to find the best link, and we'll be watching. We'll shut up, and we'll watch that live at 1 o'clock, just to update you guys who are watching, so you don't have to worry about that. We'll go straight to that when that press conference happens. Gabby's parents are planning to make a press conference and say something. I'm very curious to see what that is. And also just to tease what we're also working on today. Again, depending on how that press conference goes, maybe I will push the third story, but because we've been prepping this for a little while and we've been teasing it. But again, I'm not trying to start drama. Guys, this isn't about drama or jealousy or views. There is a channel out there in our midst, and we have caught this channel faking news. We've also caught this channel laughing about it. This is a channel that is toxic, that is hurting the Gabby Petito community, the families. We've gotten reports, and we have a special guest who's going to join us to add to this, who has done some due diligence and research. And I wanted to move on from this topic, but I think it's important that we as viewers who are watching this coverage know that there is a very popular YouTube right now that the platform is promoting. I'll say his name, Brian Morris. Let's just go there, right, Steph? I don't want to keep promoting him, but I think it's important that we call this out because we have now caught him sharing fake stories as well as laughing about it and basically being called out and laughing at the fact that he is knows he's lying and spreading out misinformation. And to me, that's a really, really, really important story that I make sure you guys are aware of. But I'm going to push that towards the end of this. So and I'm going to clip that and share it later. So I'll remind you as we get closer. But I would love your support and just I'm not trying to cancel this guy, Steph. I really just want to educate this community of like, this isn't helping. We got to have reputable stuff, and that's what I get excited, and I get it, and we will get really in depth when we have good information like this. Like I do think we have some new information now that we can dissect and start going through, but some of the stuff that's coming out on YouTube and the internet is really dangerous, and it is affecting Gabby's friends and family, and I want to be able to call that out. So we have exclusive there. We are going to reveal that. I'm going to clip that for later, but yes, it's Joseph Morris, and he's invited to call in and defend himself. I will hear him out. However, I'm not a fan. I've already blocked him on YouTube because I don't want him in my feed, and we are about to really expose him, scorched earth, Steph. So I don't mean to tease it. There's just more important things to do, but I want you guys to be aware that that's coming in a little bit on this stream, potentially. If not, if something serious comes out of the press conference, out of respect, we will pause that story and save it for you for later. But just on deck, that's our plan for today's. So we have a lot to talk about. So, and keep your tips and things coming. It's Popcorn Planet Team. It's right there on the screen below me. Popcorn Planet Team at Gmail is where you guys can email us the tips. And Steph, have we been getting some pretty good tips ourselves?
Yeah, we have been doing. I spent pretty much of last night going through them all, categorizing them into certain folders. So we're going through them right now. Some of your theories are really, really interesting. Others, in my humble opinion, I'm like,
they're coming from Joseph Morris, aren't they?
Probably.
That's why I want to do this.
Guys,
Stop sending me Joseph Morris links. It's not real.
Guys, I promise you, he is, by the time you guys find out what we've got in terms of the evidence of this dude is screwed, okay? He is despicable, disgusting, and we've now got the evidence to back ourselves up here. So seriously, stay tuned, guys, because you guys really need to know about the truth about this dude.
So, but again, let's focus on this. As the tips are coming in, you guys have been sending us stuff. We keep our eyes on there, but some of the stuff is like his, and we got to be careful of the news we're putting out there because Gabby's family is watching, and I want to be careful myself of not getting too into it. We can speculate, but we got to be respectful of what it is. When it's about Brian stuff, I don't really care as much, I'll be honest, right now, because I'm just not a fan of the guy. But especially stuff around Gabby and autopsy stuff that's out there, some of the stuff he's trying to put out in the world, none of that's going to be here. I want to focus on the news, and I want to focus on Gabby's parents' press conference at 1. But while we're waiting for that, let's break down some of this stuff. Also, let me just go through a couple of these. Thank you guys so much for the support. Kathy, John Walsh, and Dog bring Brian down. People on both sides a lot respect these two men. Yeah, I respect John Walsh. I always did. And now I will admit I have to respect Dog. He's stepping up and he's doing the work. He didn't just do a press conference and leave. He's showing up. He's spending time. He's doing research. Good on you, Dog. All right. Prove us wrong. I love it. And then, thank you, Kathy, for that. Cynthia said maybe it was a kayak. I was trying to figure out what kind of boat he would have taken. That would probably be easier. A kayak, he could probably have, it's true, not a canoe, but a kayak, that he could have rowed out to one of those islands and hoped that he could have hid there. However, you'd think someone might have seen the family go in and out. When we look at these islands, you'd think, is this really likely? Is this a good place to hide? He tripped on the FBI question because he didn't want to say that they already know. That could well be. Thank you, no one. TW, they found Brian under his sister's muumuu dress. Ugh. IT Web, Dog is going to catch Brian Laundrie. The world is too ridiculous for it to not happen. The world, I'm with you, IT Web. The world is that ridiculous that Dog the Bounty Hunter will indeed most likely catch Brian Laundrie. I think it's true. And then Little Bit, thank you so much for that as well. All right, and apologies. I if you guys support and send over tips that way, I always will take a moment to read because you guys keep this going. So again, watching this, apologies for replaying, but we have a lot of new people in here. I want to play it one more time just so you understand, and then we're going to go through the maps of this area, and I can speak a little bit because I've been there, and we're going to look through some Google images, etc. But again, for those just tuning in, a lot of you have come in late. This is what Dog the Bounty Hunter has now said, the big tip he was teasing.
So we had a very good lead come up today that he was down here in this park, not very far away. We checked our lead out. It is confirmed. The parents were down here 2 times. It was September 1st through the 3rd and September 6th through the 8th. They registered to stay at this park. They were registered, went through the gate. They're on camera. they were here, and they did enter. They did come here. Allegedly, what we're hearing is 2 people left on the 8th. 3 people came in on the 6th, and 2 people left on the 8th. I think he's been here for sure. So there's a lot of little islands around the area where we're at that he could get to on a canoe. We talked to the caretakers today of the islands. They said he could be out here, that he was here for sure, not over in the swamp. So we had a very
All right, so there it is. And yes, I see as a lot more new people come in, that's what we know from Dog. And yes, I'm eating crow. I'm eating, as I said, a real man will correct himself and apologize. And it does look like, to Steph's happiness, I am wrong. It seems like Dog the Bounty Hunter really is doing the job that the FBI aren't. And so I have to applaud him. I will always correct myself when I'm wrong. But I do think there's a lot of people out there who have a bad sort of connotation to Dog. But the reality is, he is a bounty hunter. He's out there getting tips because he has a lot of fans. That's what I also learned. And good for him. Good for him for not taking the press conference, which it was, taking that press conference and dipping. No, he used that press conference, got a lot of attention from his fans, and he's been doing some good. And now he's following up on some tips and getting the word out there of where this is. Now, does this mean this is real? No. He's, again, only thing he's confirming is that they were there at this campsite, and we've been wondering that. What's going on? Now, did the FBI already know this, Steph, and not want us to know? I don't know. But let's talk about this area in Fort DeSoto County Park. So the reason why I say, is this really the best area to hide? You're isolated in here. Now, it's big. So here, I'm here in Tampa, so I'm pretty close to this. This is called part of St. Petersburg. It's a beach. Are much nicer beaches. Clearwater Beach, also sort of voted the best beach in the world, guys. So come on, actually stay away from Florida. There's too many people here already. But nice beaches here. And sorry, just to open this up so you can see it more. So here we have. There we go. Close this. So Tampa Bay. And then St. Petersburg, Clearwater, sort of the 3 big areas of where I'm from. It's most known. So as you go over these bridges into town and into St. Pete, which is it's sort of in itself sort of a side island, even though it's not, but it's all ocean around here where a lot of the beaches are. You can go even further out to some of these little islands and such. And so right around here, if you go off, there's only one way in, unless you boat in. There's a lot of campsites and things around this area as you get into the Fort DeSoto Park. It's pretty big. It's pretty big. In fact, let's open up. Can we get to this on the...
Love your channel.
Thank you. That was it. Oh, well, thank you, Andrea. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See, if you tip 25 or above on the stream elements, which is pinned, it'll interrupt and you can say things. Just please be nice. Please be nice. Let's get the terrain map up.
Oh, no, we'll take it anyway.
So here's the terrain map of how sort of this works. So as you come in this little road, now that you see the difference, my reason why I don't think it's that good of a spot is, okay, so clearly this wouldn't be a good spot. It's very public. It's very public and touristy, and a lot of people come in here. And then you have the Skyway Bridge, which is a beautiful bridge, but then to go out. But this is sort of the area. And again, it's nice to actually see, so you see the roads, but it's hard to tell how small this is, right? It's pretty tiny on the campgrounds where you can go. But the key here would be him going off to sort of these smaller islands, as Dog is speaking about. And there are, there's a couple here. If you zoom in, there's a couple little pieces of land. But my point is, you'd be able to check these islands pretty quick. And where's he going to go if the cops are coming to get him? It's my only problem with this of like, yeah, if no one knew he was in and out, that could have been a good place. But to visit that campsite twice and then not be seen when he leaves, which clearly someone tipped off, I worry it's a pretty immediate fine. Now, this is a pretty big island. So there is some, there is some stuff on this island. I haven't been to this island, but there's some homes and stuff here, boats to get in and out. Could he be? There's a decent amount of woods here, to be fair, but you'd think with some sort of what's that called? The Schwarzenegger Predator. What do they call it? The ultra. You know what I'm talking about? Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Where you could check the body temperatures and stuff. They have these new satellite. You guys know what I'm talking
Thermal
about.
imaging.
Yes, thank you, Steph. With the new thermal imaging.
That was a brain fart.
A total brain fart. With the thermal imaging, you'd think you'd be able to like sort of get through this quicker. You know what I mean? Like, sure, it's big, but you could go through this pretty fast. Now, now could he have gone out to somewhere else from here is what the next question is, right? How far is like Cuba from this? Could he have done it himself? I mean, here's how far it is from Cuba. It's a pretty big. It would have been much quicker to go from Key West to Cuba if you wanted to leave sort of the country, but to go from here and do that boating trip, I don't know, guys. That's a pretty extreme boating trip. Do you agree, Steph? Unless he had a bigger boat.
Not really in the grand scheme of things, because he could have done it in 2 steps. So he could have gone from there to Key West, and then Key West to Havana, and just stick along the coast of Florida, so that he still has his bearings, and maybe stop off along the way. You know, you've got Fort Myers, Sarasota, Naples, along the way to Key West. It is possible. It is.
I mean, it's a long boat. I'm not a boater. I don't know. People who have more boating experience.
It depends what boat is in.
Yeah, could you do that on a kayak is what I'm wondering. I'm not. If somebody knows, please chime in. If someone knows, I think that would be a pretty long boat trip.
Yeah.
But and then as for like the islands that are around there, they're speaking about, it's not. There's some over here. You could go to Shell Key. There's the wildlife refuge. But again, I don't know. As for close stuff by, it's probably this Edgemont Key Wildlife Refuge or the Passage Key Refuge. It's not, filled with islands that it's like, oh crap, how are we going to find them? Is all I'm saying. Now, who knows? This is good. If this is true and he's there, I think we're going to find it pretty. They'll be able to find him, and then Dog will be proven right. So, and people are saying no way in a kayak. That's what I thought. So now we've talked about, again, we haven't confirmed it. Some of you have been sending over some tips about the boat. There was a family member that the Laundries had, Christopher, I think it was that the guy's name, who had who owns a yachting company, guys. And so there was questions as to could someone in the family have helped get them a bigger boat to potentially sort of maybe kayak to the island, met in the boat, off one of the side paths. That's very possible. If he had kayaked over to the wildlife refuge, and then, then caught a bigger boat, and then they went over to Cuba. Honestly, then I buy it. Then I'm like, all right, well, shit. Now and the reality is, I wouldn't stay on those islands. I would use those islands as sort of a base to meet an accomplice. To then, sorry, I thought you guys could see this. I would stay on this island, guys, and tell me what your theories are here. If I'm here, use this as an opportunity to camp where we always camp. Right? Hear me out, and then kayak over to the Edgemont National Refuge, to sort of be somewhere else more out in nowhere. Maybe you camp out, hide there until night. Maybe someone then with a boat or access picks him up in said boat at that point, and then is able to sort of drive, float that boat all the way down to Havana is where you could go. Now you could also go over to South America, but if he had access to a boat, then he could be out of this country. And then again, and I see some people getting there too. The parents now are in big trouble because if they aided, abetted, and helped him get off that island, and there's any proof of it, whether it was a camera or witnesses or something, I imagine that's going to put them in big trouble. And yeah, some of you were saying that Dog has connections in Mexico. He's saying he's not there, but it doesn't have to be in Mexico. South America is really big, guys. There's a lot of other areas. I don't think he would have gone over there. He would have come down even to Guatemala. What is this over here? Cancun. Touristy, not a good place to be in Cancun. So many people, tourists coming in there. Deeper down, Honduras. You could probably get away from there. And then if you get yourself down to Brazil or Venezuela, who knows? He's a hiker. He could be all the way down there for all we know, to get down in here. So this is an interesting lead, Steph. I got to admit, as we're going through this, a few more minutes, guys, just until the press conference. We will break and go over there, so don't worry. If somebody has we're getting the best link. I think we're going to go to the. You're working on it, Steph. We'll make sure as soon as that goes live.
I've sent you a message, mate.
Okay, good. Well, as soon as we have that, don't worry. We will. Is this the link?
It's not the link. I can't get the link because I'm in Europe, basically. But if you go to
someone DM me
that's probably going to be your best bet.
Yeah, FDLA. Or if someone has a better link to that live stream, just send it to me, DM or send it to us quick or to Steph, and we'll make sure we get to the best feed for that. But we'll break to that in a couple of minutes. Brian Laundrie's parents insist they don't know where their missing son. So this is the latest comment. Thank you. I wanted to get to this too. The parents insist they don't know where their missing son is. As revealed, his mom called cops on Dog. So this was the latest statement from the lawyer I know the lawyer finally came forward and admitted. The speculation, so this is from Steve Bertolini. The speculation by the public and some in the press that the parents assisted Brian in leaving the family home or in avoiding arrest is just wrong. Of course he's going to say that, Steph. I mean, like, come on. He's got to defend his client. They do not know where Brian is. Now, I believe that. That could be a truth. When you do these sort of things and you're defending yourself, you know, Steph, it's always like, don't tell me where you're going. Do not tell me where you're going so I can say, I don't know where he is. But this is pretty big. The speculation that the parents have assisted him in leaving the home or avoiding arrest. Now, again, you know what's interesting? The more I look at it, they're not lying. If they didn't, if they didn't say do it, and they're like, oh, we're just camping and we didn't know, and they could try to play dumb to some of this in theory. And I imagine if they get caught, maybe they will try to do that in the court. That'll be a train wreck. But I'm trying to see like what the specific lies. Can they say they were being vague and that, well, we didn't know? But they are saying they don't know where he is. They're concerned about Brian and hope the FBI can locate him. Do you believe that, Steph?
Everything that they say at this point, I just think is BS. They're talking out of their bloody backsides here. They know exactly where he is. They're probably in contact one way or another, or have an idea of where Brian's going to go. Let's put it that way. Yeah, nah, I don't believe a word that comes out of his parents' gob at this stage, because the only time that they contact the authorities is for their own ends. One, to say, oh my goodness, our poor little baby's missing Brian. And the other one is, oh my goodness, we're scared of the dog, we've got to call the authorities. Yeah, no. If they really, really want the FBI to find Brian, then at the end of the day, they should have talked sooner. They should have helped sooner, but they haven't.
Facts.
So for them to turn around and say, oh, we really, really hope that the FBI is going to find him. BS. They're talking out of their backsides. Not a chance.
Well said. Yeah, I mean, ever since I got some people who are mad at me, Steph, still. Like, how can you, we got an email on that tip line. Like, he's innocent until proven guilty. Okay, sure. But he's still guilty to me of leaving his fiance out in the middle of the wilderness for death and not helping her family find her. That's another guilty that I think a lot of people who want to give him the benefit of the doubt are forgetting. Like, I'm sorry, that's already guilty to me. You don't leave your fiance out there to do that. To come home after that trip, after fiance is missing, whether you had a fight, whether she hit, whatever the reason is, right? There's no justification for not telling the family, well, this happened and I don't know where she is. That to me screams guilt. He feels like there's some involvement to it, whether he left her there, whatever the reason is, right? There's something there that doesn't sit right with me. And that's enough for me to say the dude's guilty of something. Now, is he guilty of murder? I don't know. I suspect it. And we're going to wait until we get more information to find it. But that's what we know for now. All right, so we do have the press conference. They're prepping. Supposed to be.
1, 2, 3,
They're checking.
E, F, G, 1, 2, 3, 4.
There we go.
Okay, good.
They're testing the audio. We will be here live as this press conference from the family begins. Curious chat, what do you think this is? Do you think they will give us more details on Gabby? More just thank us for the search? I'm curious myself of how this is going to play out. We will obviously react and move accordingly based on their words because this is really a search for them. What do you guys think in the chat? What do we expect from this? But this, again, we're waiting for this press conference to start. Brian Eaton's News Nation has the feed here. Steph, do you have thoughts on this?
Yeah, so I am quite curious in terms of what they could say. I suspect that the FBI and the authorities would be like, okay, you're allowed to say this, but you're not allowed to say this. They, especially with the world media, literally the world's media and the internet, all eyes are on this. They're going to be under tremendous pressure not to say the wrong thing that can jeopardize the whole investigation. So respect to them first and foremost for even have the courage to do this in the first place.
Facts. Well said.
It's not It's not an easy thing, guys, to do that, especially in their situation at the moment. They're grieving as well. They're under so much pain and hurt, yet they've got this strength and this courage to do this press conference. Yeah, top respect to them for doing it. In terms of what they're going to say specifically, no idea. No idea. What could they say? I suspect they may continue to appeal to the Laundrie family to stop being stupid idiots now and actually give them information about Brian's whereabouts and what happened in the timeline after he got home on the 1st of September. I suspect that they will continue to appeal to the public to keep the energy going, keep the same energy, keep it up. Don't let it die down. Keep looking, keep searching, that kind of thing. I suspect that they will thank the authorities so far in terms of what they're doing and how the search has gone so far. From a personal standpoint, and I don't mean this jokingly, guys, I hope they give a little bit of a shout out to Dog the Bounty Hunter. Just a little.
That's a good bet. Dude, chat. What do you think Dog the Bounty Hunter will get a mention in this press conference? I mean, I could see this being a very sad, revealing one, right? Where they do reveal some more information we're gonna change our updating depending on how that goes, or this could just be a thank you to fans and a thank you to Dog. This could clearly go either way. But yeah, what do you guys think in the chat? Do you think Dog will get a mention in this at all? Let us know. And I see a lot. Thank you so much for the support. There's just obviously this is really breaking news. Your support means the world. This channel keeps us going. We aren't funded like a lot of News Nation and CNN. And I see people asking if you want to donate the Cash App and stuff. It's in the pinned comment in the link tree. You can go to my link tree and also all the ways to support are there. So thank you. But right now I want to make it about this. We'll get to your comments and support. I always do. And thank you for everybody. But obviously this is really important, most important news that we're just waiting for them to come out any second now. As we wait for this, and when they do, we will mute our mics and sort of let them speak fully. In fact, can I go to a full screen on this? I'd like to almost do that while we're waiting. I think I can.
If you set it up as a scene in your OBS, yeah.
Yes, cool. There we go. We can go full screen. Bear with me as I put this. There we go. That way, as we go there, you guys can get the full uninterrupted report. Go ahead, Steph. What were you going to say?
But as we're waiting, because I've noticed, and thank you ever so much for your support for Andy and Popcorn Planet. Really, really do appreciate it. We're here to give you the news about this situation responsibly and ethically, in a way that is respectful at the end of the day. But I've seen a lot of new viewers come in. So, Andy, whilst we're waiting, could you just give like a quick reminder, a quick rundown of Dog the Bounty Hunter situation and where we are with that at the moment?
They're about to start any moment, guys, so I just want to keep it on screen while we're talking. But as soon as they do, we'll shut up. But yeah, right now, the latest, for all you tuned in, Dog the Bounty Hunter may be right. We have footage of him admitting that the family, the Laundrie family, and with Brian, were caught going into Fort DeSoto, which is a park here in Florida. We were going through that, and we will continue to go through that here in Fort DeSoto. And that's where he said he got tipped off that they were there in the beginning of September, and then again on a second trip, 2 3-day trips on the campgrounds. Now, again, let's be fair, Steph. They could have been camping. They could have been going and whatever and needed a break because they got in a fight. It's hard for me to try to be unbiased on this stuff, but I'm trying, guys. But let's be right. I know we're mad. We got reasons to be mad at Brian, but that could be what they did. It seems a little questionable to me. And then, according to Dog Scoopers, when they left, Brian wasn't with them on the final trip on the 8th. And so the speculation is, could he have traveled from there? There does seem to be copters and others sort of reporting from there. So this is pretty big breaking news that seems to be vetted. A lot of other reporters and people on this case are taking this seriously. And I've seen that there's helicopters and such flying around that area. But that's the latest news that we have. And yes, I'm apologizing to Dog the Bounty Hunter. I apologize. I was wrong in judging you, dog. Good on him for not making this just a press conference and making it, doing the work, Steph. I think that's really impressive that he did do it, because he could have just phoned it in, done a couple 15 minutes of fame appearances and dipped out. But no, it seems like he's really on the ground following the tips, getting some real tips and using his fame and popularity to try and get some headway. So in that way, I stand corrected. I always correct yourself. Never be embarrassed to correct yourself if you're wrong. But it looks like any moment they'll be coming in. This is a press conference that we're waiting for with Gabby's parents. We will shut up once they start. I'm just keeping you guys posted. But this is at the law firm. Yeah, this must be at their law firm. Employment Counseling, Litigation, Labor and Benefits at Zabel and Colada PC. So this must be, if they're with the law firm, maybe they are going to announce sort of some other suit. We are waiting for the family to come in. They put this on, and we'll go full screen as soon as we have more information. Trying to look at some of your comments as you're coming in. Let's see. So I don't, because I know a lot of you have been doing it. I want to put it off. Beth, thank you, Beth. Andrea, loved your channel. Thank you so much, Andrea. Cora, thank you for your solid content of fleshing out the BS we all need to steer clear of. You're doing good work. Thank you, Cora. We try. And thank you for your support of keeping this news going. Beth, again, the police said that the sightings at the campground are unconfirmed. They said they have no tips or leads to that area. Well, I don't trust anything the police say, Beth. But sure. Okay, here we go, guys.
Okay.
Good afternoon. From the moment Nicole called to report that Gabby was missing, the worst fears of any parent played out before our eyes. That nightmare became a reality when the Grand Teton search and rescue team located their beautiful daughter. During that time, they had an outpouring of love and affection and sympathy from not just their family and friends, but from the law enforcement community, the press, and from people around the world. And for that, they thank you. They've been given the time and the space to grieve this awful loss. And we ask that you continue to respect their privacy and give them the space and time to go through this difficult process. Gabby Petito was a beautiful woman. Her infectious smile and love of life made people gravitate to her. Gabby Petito loved life, loved people, and loved experiences. She was the bright light in everyone's life that knew her. Gabby's family does not want that light to dim, and they want to make some good from this awful tragedy. That's why they're starting the Gabby Petito Foundation. I'm joined today with Joe and Tara Petito, with Jim and Nicole Schmidt, and close friend Gary Ryder. They're going to make some statements, and after that, we're going to take some questions. Nick. No?
I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that we encountered out west in Wyoming, all of the law enforcement agencies out there and across the country for doing an amazing job with locating Gabby. Especially want to thank the Teton County Search and Rescue Team, who is a all-volunteer agency that come together. They are highly trained, and they were a part of that mission to find Gabby, and they did an unbelievable job. We were so grateful for everybody out there. They were second to none. They were unbelievable, and we are forever grateful for that. And everybody back home who helped us as well. It was amazing that we were able to get her, and we're just happy to have her.
How you doing? I'd actually like to thank all you guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the media, press, especially the people that are behind the camera. All right, they don't get enough credit for what it is that they do, and so I do appreciate all them. Social media has been amazing. So I'd just like to thank everyone, for that. I do. It is greatly appreciated. That was very helpful in bringing our daughter home. So thank you very much.
I don't think we can thank everybody enough. I really want to thank the Aware Foundation and We Help the Missing for putting her poster out there. It reached over 2 million people within 48 hours. It was all over the world.
Yeah.
And I especially want to thank Detective Tracy Barry of the 5th Precinct here in Patchogue, because without her, we don't know when this would have even happened. She got the ball rolling. She's my angel, and I thank her the most. Thank you.
At this time, we'll be taking questions.
Dr. Burns, NBC News. The hashtag Justice for Gabby has been trending. You mentioned how much social media has been helpful in locating her and in this investigation. What does Justice for Gabby look like from here?
Do you want me to answer that?
Yeah.
Justice for Gabby is that we see justice for her homicide. The FBI has classified her death a homicide. They are the premier agency in the country. They're investigating her death, and we believe through their investigation, we will have justice for Gabby.
Rick,
Yes.
we haven't heard from the Laundrie family. We haven't been able to hear much from the FBI. They can't share a lot with us about Brian's whereabouts. Is there anything that you can tell us about the efforts to find him, what the family thinks about where he might be, and the Laundrie family silence?
Again, for the Laundrie's silence, the Laundries did not help us find Gabby. They're sure is not going to help us find Brian. For Brian, we're asking you to turn yourself in to the FBI or the nearest law enforcement agency.
Yesterday, the Laundrie family released a statement saying that Mr. and Mrs. Laundrie are not helping Brian get away and hide. Do you believe them?
That's for the FBI to investigate. I believe that they're the preeminent law enforcement organization in this country, and I know they're investigating all avenues of this case.
Rick, Trevor L. from ABC.
Yes.
You touched on trusting the FBI here. Does it bother the family at all that Brian Laundrie is still not named as a suspect in Gabby's disappearance?
The parents are 100% happy with the FBI. They've been with us at every single step of the way, and we know that they will bring justice for Gabby.
The Foundation for Gabby from CNN. Can you or the family talk at all about or describe what kind of contact you had with the Laundrie family since early September, and what your previous relationship was like with that family while Gabby and Brian Laundrie were dating? Any sort of insight you can give us into those contacts?
We're not going to talk about the relationship between the Petito, the Schmidt, and the Laundrie family. The Petito and Schmidt family have spoken with the FBI, and they've requested that we don't discuss any relationship between Gabby, between Brian, or between the three families.
Can you discuss about the foundation?
Yes.
And you don't want her light to go dim. So what will the foundation do to keep her light shining?
We're just hoping that through our tragedy with losing Gabby, that in the future that some good can come out of it, that we can help other people that may be in a similar situation, reach out to these other organizations that do similar things and find out what's missing. You know, what can we do to fill that void? What can we do to help people? Just from the Aware Foundation alone and reaching 2 million people, they told us that other law enforcement agencies are now starting to look back at other missing persons cases and starting to reinvestigate them and look into them. And we're just hopeful that we're able to help people in the future, you know, just try to get through something similar.
In the vein of not letting her light grow dim, I noticed Mom and Dad have some new tattoos that resemble that of Gabby. Would you be willing to tell us about that?
Yeah, these were tattoos that Gabby designed herself. She was an artist, and
I wanted to have her with me all the time, so.
So we all,
I feel it. This helps.
we all
that.
put them. We all.
Can you all show us?
Got 'em.
Everybody.
It's all right, we do. Let it be.
Let it be.
Let it be.
Believe.
Believe.
Yeah, sure.
And you said Gabby designed those?
Gabby drew this one.
Yeah.
Listen, here's the end all, right? We
Can
need, we need positive stuff to come from the tragedy that happened. All right? We can't let her name be taken in vain. We need positive stuff. All right? So anything that we can do to bring that up and help people, that's what we want to do.
Joe, do you think Brian's still alive?
I'm not going to talk about Brian.
Yes.
Mrs. Stafford, specifically from music, just about the community coming together. I mean, we've been at the memorial almost every day, and you have people coming from all over Long Island, from Montauk to the West End, because they all say they felt such a connection to Gabby. Like somebody said, she reminds him of her son, things like that. What does that mean to you, that she's just drawn emotions from so many people over the country? I mean, I'm sure, and your Blue Point community with the candles being lit. Can you just step up and possibly respond to that outpouring and what it's meant to you?
I don't know how to respond to that. I just hope that people are inspired by her. It's hard to put into words, but it means a lot to me that she's touched so many lives already, and this is only 2 weeks into it, and I'm so proud of her for doing this, and we're going to keep it going. Like you said, keep the light going and help a lot of people if we can.
And will the foundation just be for missing children or missing adults as well? I think it said children, but I didn't know.
We're still working out, this has only been a few days, so we're still working that out. We want to help in any way we can. I just want to add to the last question that we've received letters, emails, cards from all over the world, from Australia, from Europe. We had people from Italy. We had people at the funeral that came from as far away as Texas, as Florida, as California. So people from all over the country have called and sent their well wishes.
Rick, can you confirm that the fraudulent activity that Brian's been charged with, was that Gabby's card that he was using?
That's something you're going to have to talk to the FBI about. That I know that they have unsealed an indictment, so I believe they would be the best agency to deal with that.
And just a question for Joe. Joe, you mentioned social media. Can you tell me, do you feel obviously that the outpouring of people all across the world with tips coming in, that social media helped find Gabby? And how do you feel knowing that she was someone who wanted, she was in social media, the videos she made, everything else?
I don't want to dismiss the ridiculously hard work that the FBI and law enforcement all around did, but social media has been amazing and very influential. And to be honest, it should continue for other people too. This same type of heightened awareness should be continued for everyone. Everyone. And that goes for you all too.
Joe, your words at the memorial service were very touching to many people. And I'm wondering if you've heard from people who heard your words about being inspired by Gabby's life and also leaving bad relationships.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
Again, we've received messages from individuals on many issues since we started the foundation, and there are some that were really personal, and at this point we're not going to get into that.
Has the family spoken with Jen Bethune, the woman who took the video of the van?
We've spoken with numerous people that gave tips to the FBI and to us.
So they have spoken with Jen Bethune?
I believe they have.
What do you make of people like Dog the Bounty Hunter and John Walsh getting involved in looking for Brian Laundrie?
Again, we, just like we ask for help to look from everyone, that if they see Brian Laundrie or any information on that, we're asking that they call the local law enforcement or the FBI. We welcome everybody's help to find him. And if you have any information, we're asking that you call the FBI tip line or your local police department. So we'll take help from everybody.
What's the plans for her remains? Has FBI Denver contacted you about timing or when that might be back?
Do you want me to talk about it? You want to talk about it?
I didn't get a question.
Do you want to do it? Yes.
I'll talk about it. So, part of our goal was we wanted to bring her home as quickly as possible. But it's important for the FBI, the Teton County Sheriff's, the Teton County Coroner's Office to hold on to her for as long as they need. We want to make sure that no matter what, we do not impede their investigation in any way. We wanted her home immediately, but we understand their position, and we know that she's safe with them, and as long as she's with them. And it was a very tough decision to have to make to come home, but we felt it was important to come home so we could mourn her and celebrate her life and be with our family and friends. And when they're ready to release her, we will be bringing her home.
Have you gotten any of her things back from Florida?
Not yet.
Jim and Joe, you guys made a plea to the world, the country, the world, to help lead you to Gabby and help you find Gabby. Do you have a similar plea for the world to help you find Brian?
I want to help. I want to ask everyone to help all of the people that are missing and need help. And like I said before, it's on all of you, everyone that's in this room, to do that. And if you don't do that for other people that are missing, that's a shame. Because it's not just Gabby that deserves that. So look to yourselves on why not that's not being done.
And with Brian, that's our focus is still on mourning Gabby and honoring Gabby. The FBI is doing everything they can, and we have our full faith in them. So.
Can you say anything about what your understanding is of what was going on between September 1st and September 11th? Is this something that you're going to talk about?
No, we're not going to comment on that. That's part of the investigation at this point.
Can I understand?
Shot of the four parents again, with your tattoos just all together. Oh yeah, sure. Maybe.
Sorry.
That's all right. In front of the mics, there's a lot of wires.
I know. Just.
You guys smoke, Joe?
When did you have these done?
We all had them done last time.
Oh, wow.
We all did it together. Like we said, we've always co-parented Gabby together, and that's not going to stop now. We're in this together.
And do 3 of them say let it be, and then mom's or says?
Mom has let it be as well.
No, I'm sorry, is that Gabby's handwriting? Is it this, or is it just?
This is the way she had it written.
That's the way she had it on her arm.
Yeah. So we all did it.
Yes.
Oh, darn right, yes.
Yeah, the one on your arm.
And did you always have that vine on your finger, or did you?
Gabby had that vine.
And you got that recently, or?
I got that last night too.
The light is reflecting.
I saw the bandage on it.
Oh, that's fine.
Guy took mine off, sorry.
Very sorry.
Thank you. Listen, you guys have been great, and I appreciate every one of you, and all the people, like I said, that are behind the cameras that don't get the credit. You guys were instrumental, but everyone deserves the same type of awareness and the same type of stuff. So, thank you all. We're good? We're good.
What's next?
Guys, I apologize.
Just have one question over here. What's next?
We don't stop.
Yeah, we don't stop, remembering Gabby and keeping her name out there and fighting for other people out there like her. She's always with us every day. She's giving us signs. It's difficult. We've been talking. We don't, where do you go from here? How do you go back to normal, whatever normal may be from here on out? But we have each other. We're a big family. We have a huge support network. And we're just going to keep pushing forward and living every day and loving every day, because that's what Gabby did, and that's what we need to do.
A lot of people would be very angry right now. Can you talk about, do you at some level have anger, or is it just not happening yet?
We go through our bouts. It's an emotional roller coaster. There's ups and downs. Days that we're full of pain and grief, sometimes angry, but you stop, you take a breath, remember Gabby and all the great times we had with her, all the good memories, and all the good things we want to do in her name in the future. And that's what picks you up. That's what carries you through, and hopefully will keep us going from here on out.
And Jim, what kind of signs has she been giving you? Can you just step up a little bit tonight? Thanks.
We actually got behind a car yesterday, and there was a Wyoming sticker, and the letters were GBZ.
Gabs.
So Gabs. She's with us. She's with us.
She's with us.
All right.
She's with
I
us.
think we're good.
The signs
Thank
are
you.
there. You just have to look for them.
Thank
you all so much.
Appreciate everyone.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. I took some notes on the most important comments I saw. Press conference is over. Emotional stuff that came in. The biggest reveal that they are planning a foundation in Gabby's honor, which is an amazing thing to learn. I was taken by a few things. They did mention Dog, but they didn't give him as much credit. I liked that they were giving everyone credit, Steph. They made it clear. What was really interesting to me is they were very smart not degrading the FBI, because the FBI are still in an active investigation. And so he did something very clever. Gabby's dad did something clever by saying, while we don't, we appreciate everything the FBI done, it's very clear everybody, all you guys involved have been doing it. And he said that a few times, how important that was, but then stressing, and I thought, what a beautiful opportunity to use this attention he's getting, is request to spotlight everybody. Everybody deserves this sort of attention. I mean, no one's going to get, it's impossible. It's not always going to happen, but he's right. We need to spotlight some more of these cases because it's tragic what's happening out there. And so a lot of stuff in there. They were quotings to run down the notes I had. Respect their privacy, space, and time. They're still working on it. They didn't reveal any information about the case. They are leaving that to the FBI. The FBI, they even said, what's justice for Gabby? Getting justice in solving this homicide, which they did again acknowledge. They were even asked, well, are you frustrated there's no not announcing the cause or anything else? They said, no, we believe in everything. We are 100% happy with the FBI is what they were said. And they didn't want to answer any relationship questions as fair. And they want positive stuff. We need more positive stuff. We need to help people. And they're doing that by starting this Gabby Petito Foundation. They said Gabby's a beautiful woman, loved life, loved people, loved helping, loved exploring. She was a bright light, and we want to continue to that bright to shine. So beautiful moment there, and an opportunity to use all eyeballs on this to try and get some good done, which I think is fantastic. I really like how the father sort of also just, you can tell he's angry, and he's also trying to be positive, and he's trying to do the right things here. He says it like it is. I'm sure he's dying to speak, Steph, and say some things that I'm sure he wants to say, but he's handling it, I think, very well, and being careful how he handles it. What was your takeaway, Steph?
Yeah, so it confirmed my suspicion that there wasn't really much that they could say because of the ongoing investigation. I want to take the time, because I made some notes as well, just to kind of, I'm probably paraphrasing here, but how they described Gabby. She's a beautiful woman. She had an infectious smile and love of life, and people just gravitated to her. She loved life, people experience. She was a bright light, and the family didn't want the light to dim, so they've created the Gabby Petito Foundation. I really thought that it was a touching, wonderful, beautiful tribute to Gabby. Which kind of got me a little bit in the throat there. They specifically, in terms of the whole law enforcement, and they were very general in terms of thanking everyone, thanking the law, thanking the FBI, thanking these, but they specifically mention Detective Tracy Barry, who they say got the ball rolling. Mother said, she is her angel and thanks her the most. Thought it was very telling that out of everyone, they specifically name Detective Tracy Barry. So maybe just as, you know, the internet, we thank Detective Tracy Barry too. In regards to, you know, they threw in that press conference, they threw the media under the bus first and foremost, because they're like, look, keep the same energy for everyone else that's missing as well. Not just Gabby, but everyone else. Keep the same damn energy. Don't be freaking hypocrites. But they also throw the Laundrie family under the bus, which I just thought, freaking bravo. Stand up for yourselves, because they're turning around and they said, you know, it was a question saying something along the lines of, you know, what the family thinks, where Brian may be, and what they think about the Laundrie family silence. And they turn around and are like, look, the Laundries didn't help find Gabby. They won't help find Brian.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
I'm glad you pulled that quote, because it was very, very, probably the most damning thing they said, and very, very impressive.
Yeah, very impressive that they had the strength to be able to say that in front of the world's media and in front of the internet as well. And I was just like, freaking bravo. They definitely deserve the Laundrie family to hang their heads in shame.
And I just want to, sorry to
for
interrupt.
not helping.
I'm just before, just so you're done, Steph. We are going to, you know, I was debating whether we're going to do this next story, but I kind of really want to do it now, in talking about doing good and positivity and supporting the memorial of Gabby. We are going to do this expose in a minute, so I'm gathering some clips, and I hope you'll stay tuned, because I need your help spreading the word on this one. Because a lot of people, there's one particular person who I feel is not doing good. He's done a lot of bad. He's not taking accountability. He's not apologizing. He's continuing to do the same trends. I'm talking about Joseph Morris on YouTube, and I'm fed up, guys. And after watching that, I'm especially fed up. So Steph, continue to share your notes. But as she's doing that, I'm prepping a little bit, because I kind of want, Steph, as you call it, I kind of want to go scorched earth on this guy, because we have some new evidence coming in from this special guest who's about to join us. And I can't stay too late on a stream. You might be able to stick around for me afterwards, but I want to get this in, because I want to clip it and make sure you guys get this word out there, because I'm not okay with how this guy is reporting, and especially hearing about the go positive. I'm going to go negative one last time for the sake of being good, Steph, because I think it's important we call this man out. So I just wanted to tease that and let you know that's it's coming. So, Steph, continue to share your notes while I'm going to be unfocused for a minute as I prepare that story. But I wanted you guys to know that that's coming, and spread the word that we're going to do that in a second. I will also clip that, and I'm going to actually, let's end this stream. We're going to end this stream right now, so you guys have all the information. I'm going to clip the next portion later, and if you always want to watch the full streams, you can while becoming a member of this channel. Thank you guys so much for supporting our coverage. If you're watching live, don't go anywhere. We're not done, but this is just the little alert I give myself to trim the YouTube sake, so that way you can get the Dog Bounty Hunter and the preface conference in a nice, easier video at the 107 mark. Steph, if you want to mark that down. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned if you're watching on the replay for more, and if you're watching live, don't go anywhere. We are not done. We are going to expose Joseph Morris live. We will place that as a separate clip as well, so please help us get the word out on this. It needs to get out there. Thank you guys so much for watching.